Do you still remember monoquantum? Two words that honkaistarrail players often echo when discussing characters with quantum elements. A team that was once predicted to become a meta, but unfortunately, until now, its fate is still unclear. What actually happens to monoquantum? What makes it so difficult to find its position in the latest meta? And roughly, how do you get monoquantum into meta? In this video, we will find the answer. Monoquantum first became popular on the internet with the appearance of Silverwolf, a nihility character with a particular skill for giving a weakness based on the elements in a team. Let me give you an example for those who still don't understand, especially new players. For example, on your team, there are Seal, Silverwolf, Fu Xian, and Bronya. This means that your team has two different elements, Seal, Silverwolf, and Fu Xian have quantum elements, while Bronya has wind elements. So when we use Silverwolf's skill, there are two possibilities that we will get, which is quantum and wind. This means that there is still RNG that we need to win. So this is where the role of monoquantum emerges. Monoquantum is present as a means so that Silverwolf can provide 100% weakness with quantum elements, in other words, the elements we need. So whatever enemy we fight, no matter how hard and thick the HP is, whoever the boss is, Argenti or Aventurin, monoquantum is ready to crush everyone. This is what the monoquantum promises. At first glance, it looks tempting. Remember that breaking weakness is one of the keys to defeating the enemy in the fastest time. Who wouldn't be tempted by this? If you open Facebook, people are raving about monoquantum. Open YouTube, lots of content creators are talking about this, and so on. As a result, many meta-loving players are waiting for its arrival. With the release of Fu Xian as a premium tanker, only one character is needed to fill the existing void. Namely, the quantum element harmony character who can replace Bronya. But amid the incessant onslaught of monoquantum devotees, there was one character who completely overhauls how meta in honkaistarrail works and at the same time, prevents monoquantum from becoming a trending topic due to its release time being close to Fu Xian, namely, the appearance of Dan Heng Imbibitor Luni with his crazy damage. He was the first DPS character in the history of honkaistarrail who has damage far above the others, aka the first character to introduce significant power crept. Different from Blade Kafka, Seal, or Jingyuan, who are still debatable. You can compare all the existing DPS and keep arguing about who is better, but Imbibitor Luni? He was on an entirely different level. There is nothing to argue about when discussing him. Unfortunately, Imbibitor Luni has shortcomings that are considered crucial. Imbibitor Luni, commonly abbreviated as IL, is a character who is very wasteful of skill points, just as wasteful as Chinkei. It's like Hoyoverse wants to create a narrative in which even the most broken character in the game has to come with the same amount of risk. Those of you who are Imbibitor Luni users definitely understand how it performs when we fail to manage skill points. His damage with 3 skill points is completely different from his 1 skill point. Imbibitor Luni is the first character who really needs calculations when played. It is with this deficiency in mind that monoquantum fans express their hopes. Seal players feel that there is still hope that their favorite character can compete with the best DPS at that time. Several months later, the final puzzle piece to complete the monoquantum team finally appeared. Sparkle is present as the key so that monoquantum can be successful and, most importantly, so that Seal can return to the top as the best DPS in the game. On the day of its release, everyone agreed that Sparkle was a very broken harmony character, even better than Bronya. So for the monoquantum composition, we already have Seal as DPS, Silverwolf as key nihility, Fu Xian as unrivaled sustainer, and finally, Sparkle as harmony meta. The team that many people dream of has finally arrived. Days passed, and a week became 2 weeks. People seem to be starting to wake up. What they have been hoping for seems to have failed to meet expectations. Various questions arise. Is monoquantum as strong as players expect? Can monoquantum carry Seal? Of course not. Monoquantum ultimately just ends up being wishful thinking. There's nothing extraordinary about the monoquantum. Moreover, when Sparkle appeared, there was already fierce competition regarding the best DPS between Imbibitor Luni and Jinglu. Even by calling all her friends in Mono Quantum, Seal is still not strong enough to compete at the top of the standings. What the players don't realize is that the emergence of Sparkle is not to fill the void that Mono Quantum has, not to raise Seal to the top of the standings as the best DPS, but rather, to improve the performance of Imbibitor Luni, which has been OP from the start, to be much more OP, while also strengthening his position as the best DPS beats Jinglu. And most importantly, make him easy to play. This is the bitter fact that Mono Quantum devotees have to swallow. The character they have been waiting for a long time is apparently not intended for them. Mono Quantum is a meta that has been hoped for who knows how long, but it never arrived until today. The main gimmick provided by Mono Quantum is to bulldoze all content, no matter what the element, because Silverwolf is here to provide the needed quantum weakness. But unfortunately, honkaistarrail has just released Firefly, a new DPS to fill the top-tier DPS with Acheron. They are both DPS that many players have considered and agreed to be the best. Firefly, apart from having very painful damage, also has a gimmick that is similar to Silverwolf, because both can reduce the enemy's toughness regardless of their element, a completely similar concept to Mono Quantum. In short, the break team consisting of Firefly, Wanmei, Harmony MC, and Gallagher is the team that Mono Quantum devotees have been hoping for. Namely, the best team prepared to crush all existing enemies, whatever their element. So far, at least for me, Mono Quantum is the biggest false hope that Hoyoverse has given to its players. After a long wait, its reputation as a team ready to crush all content was just destroyed by the waifu of 1 million people. Even without any excessive hype during the pre-release. Soon, Jade will be released, a new erudition that also has quantum elements. The question is, can Jade change this? Can Jade restore Mono Quantum's self-esteem, which has fallen down the stairs? Unfortunately, no. The key to Mono Quantum is Silverwolf, which is a single-target nihility, while Jade herself, as erudition, is an all-target sub-DPS specialist. Their functions are clearly different, which means they are not suitable as teammates. It doesn't matter how well Jade's performance will be. The only way to change this, to turn Mono Quantum into a meta team, to turn players' hopes into reality, is to be patient until there is a new blast or single-target DPS that is better than Seal. And what I mean by better is, much, much better. So far, we have only seen 2 DPS with quantum elements, namely Seal and Jade. Both have opposite paths. Seal excels in a single target, while Jade excels in all targets. If we look at Acheron, Kafka, and Black Swan, then Nihility also actually has great potential to become a DPS. Unfortunately, this path has been taken by Silverwolf, who only acts as a debuffer, without any significant damage. So, the only possibility we can hope of raising the Mono Quantum level is to wait for quantum destruction to come. And always remember that destruction is the developer's favorite path when discussing damage. Of the 4 limited destructions, only Blade is considered ordinary. Imbibitor Luni and Jinglu was a very broken DPS in their time, while Firefly was the only DPS that could compete with Acheron. Waiting for this to happen, especially after Jade has a quantum element, will likely take a long time. Mono Quantum, in the end, is actually very good in concept. It is true that Mono Quantum should be able to clear all content, although Pure Fiction may have to be an exception, due to Silverwolf, which can only attack one target. Providing weakness according to what we want is a very OP ability in a game like this, where in general we have to adapt the team we use to the enemy's elements. However, Mono Quantum can break through this idea. One big hole that has been blocking Mono Quantum is the lack of reliable DPS. Seal is too old to follow the latest meta. Remember that Seal is the first limited character, while now honkaistarrail has reached version 2.3. This game has been running for more than a year. So it is very natural that Seal is starting to lose her prestige. Like a team filled with many talented young players, this team can only win the championship if it has an equally talented striker. You can't rely on old strikers who are ready to retire but are still forced to play due to the lack of good regeneration.